Did I scare you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and my name's Derek. If you've never met me before, I am an online reseller slash collector. I love collecting nostalgic things and reselling them online in order to fuel my collection. But I have come across one of the holy grail finds that people just really hope that they find. Now, I did pay a little bit up for this. I will tell you off the bat, we spent $870 on everything you can see in front of you here, but let me explain why. I'm gonna go through some of this stuff and show you exactly why I paid so much money. Alrighty, so first things first, I just want to talk about some of these Funko Pops we grabbed. Now, there's nothing in here that's particularly crazy rare, like $200, $300, $400, but there are some decent ones, like this Chase Mr. Meeseeks. There's a couple of exclusives and a couple things like that. These three here are probably the three best Funkos we have. We have the Walter White in his underwear with the gun. We have this black Kratos, and then we also have this glows in the dark Fallout. But most of these are pretty good subject material. I know a lot of people don't really care about Overwatch, Borderlands, Teen Titans, that type of stuff. But there's a decent amount of like Fallout characters in here. Some good, a good Dragon Ball Z one, a couple Walking Dead people. So while there is nothing crazy about those Funkos, I'm thinking realistically for all of them, we can make back about $200. So we spent $100 to make an extra $100 on top of that. So that's right where I want to be whenever I'm buying from people. I try to buy at the price that I can basically double up on, so that way they get paid the same amount, I get paid the same amount, and everybody's happy. It's almost like splitting it 50-50. So good find there. So that was a good purchase. Ugh. So I want to go through some of these bins really quick. I listed most of this stuff in my eBay store, so if you are interested in anything you see in today's video, it will be up in my eBay store. If it's not there, it's going to be in one of the next two Whatnot shows. I have a Whatnot show coming up at Friday at 8 p.m. There's going to be some of the collectible stuff, but most of the video game stuff is going to be in the Whatnot show on Wednesday. So that will be Wednesday, the 27th of May. So if you are interested in anything you see, most of the video game stuff, like I said, will be in that show. So please feel free to come by, support, say hi. I'm pretty much, everything that's gonna be in the Whatnot show is gonna be priced around $5 to $10 to start. So really good finds for you to guys get some good stuff, but a lot of the other stuff is going to be, like I said, on eBay. I'll leave links to those down in the description below. Let's go ahead and start going through all this stuff. So we got a lot of these World of Nintendo figures. We got Samus, we got Mario here. Nothing crazy, but most of these are going for anywhere from $30 to $40. They're the first generation ones. This red tunic Link, that was a really good find there. We have a bunch of these like little mini figures too that are all 15, 20 bucks a piece. So those are fantastic. We picked up more of those. Here is some loose amiibos. We just picked up a bunch of these. Now I paid $1 a piece for these is how I calculated, and I might have underpaid a little bit because this Meta Knight has already sold, I think, for like 18 bucks. So at the end of the day, I'm probably gonna make like $10 in profit on him. So if I do really good on all of the amiibos, I might have to give him a little more money just because I think I probably underpaid for those a lot, but we'll see. But of course, there is a bunch more of these World of Nintendo. I mean, there's so many of these little mini figures in here, more amiibos, another amiibo, another Metal Mario amiibo. When you're looking for amiibos and you're looking for figures and stuff like that, you want to look for something unique like this, right? It's the Metal Mario. It is a different character than what you typically would see than the regular Mario. Those are really, really good things to keep out for. Same thing with like this Link. This Link is a red tunic, so he's a different variation of the regular Link. So you gotta make sure that you're keeping an eye out for figures like these. They might be worth it to pick up. Of course, we picked up some more. Here's a Zelda one. Here's a purple Samus. We also got little figures like this blue Yoshi. I know this already sold. I don't remember how much it sold for. I think it sold for like 18 bucks. But a lot of this stuff is in the $3 to $5 range. I will try to like take some time to talk about the stuff that is actually worth a lot of money. So let me go ahead and get through all the little stuff here. Here is a Link amiibo, so that's pretty cool. And there is all kinds of stuff from all different eras. There is some really old nostalgia stuff in here too. Here's Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Nintendo 64. That's a really cool game. I remember playing that as a kid. Here's a Game Genie for the Sega Game Gear. And these things are really neat because they come with these little retro books. Oh, the page fell out. Gotta put that back in.
That's what she said.
Here's another Game Boy Game Genie for the original Nintendo Game Boy with those little booklets. Just really cool stuff from a whole long time ago. And then you have like this modern retro stuff that's really cool. Like here is a Super Mario Bros. Gaming desk mat. It's really cool. So like it's like one of those big keyboard things there. Here is a box-only version of the Forsaken 64 video game. I'm not sure what all is in this game, but it looks pretty violent. It's rated M, so.
The game begins. There is carnage ahead, and for the victor, there is honor and the spoils of battle. For the vanquished, there is pain and humiliation. Failure is not an option for the Forsaken.
And then you have things like this, just a instruction manual only for Super Metroid. Do not sleep on this paperwork. This does look like trash to the modern eye, to somebody who is untrained, but these pamphlets can go from anywhere from like $30 to $80 in really good condition. So keep an eye out for this stuff for sure. But we picked out more amiibos, another amiibo, Ike amiibo, all of these loose amiibos. They're great. And like I said, these things are the things that you're gonna find at a yard sale for $1, or you're gonna get a whole bag of them for 20 bucks, and you're gonna flip that whole bag for like 200. So keep an eye out for the amiibos. We got a copy of Toy Story 2, Castlevania. This was one of my favorite things I got. It's not even the most retro thing, but this really cool, realistic Metroid from the Metroid series. I mean, it does look eerily real in like, as far as video game stuff goes. So really hyper-realistic piece of history right there, because all of these World of Nintendo toys, all of these are from, you know, 2015, 2016 era. So even though it's not that long ago, you're still talking 10 years ago. Yes, 10 years ago was 2015. So here's the first two things I want to take a second and talk about. Now, this is probably because the new Star Fox game comes out, but these World of Nintendo characters right here, for whatever reason, are worth a lot of money. Sold comps on this guy are running anywhere from $150 to $180, and then sold comps on this guy are going upwards of $250 for a single plastic figure that is brand new. So not sure why the prices are the way they are. I've gotten a couple offers on these already. I turned them down because they were the same day, and they were relatively lowball offers. I think they were like 60% of what I was asking. Here is another really good World of Nintendo character. Like I said, that alternate art of the Shadow Link, it's just something you're not gonna find all the time in a series like this. So great stuff to look out for. Anything that just definitely pops out and isn't the typical Nintendo characters you're looking for. Game Gear, Mortal Kombat 2, Wayne's World complete in box on the Super Nintendo. That's another fantastic game right there. We got more World of Nintendo toys. Here's the Gold Mario. That's another World of Nintendo toy. We got this Toad. I've gotten a couple offers on this guy already, and I've turned those down because obviously we just listed this stuff. I have a good feeling that a lot of the stuff that is getting offers is going to eventually pull full price. So we got Diddy Kong Racing, we got Nightmare Creatures, we got Miss Pac-Man. What else do we got here? We got South Park for the Nintendo 64, Star Wars, Doom 64, another great cartridge. This game, I don't know why, but it is worth a lot of money. Keep an eye out for Doom 64. We got Clay Fighters 63 and a third. Unfortunately, this isn't Clay Fighters Sculptor's Cut. That is basically the chase game that you're looking for the Clay Fighter series. We have Tarzan right here. This is another great amiibo multi-pack. This Samus Metroid multi-pack of amiibos. They run about $110 to $120. So this was another fantastic find that we pulled out of this lot. And like I said, we only paid $870 for everything. And you've heard me mention that multiple things are worth over $100 a piece. So great find there. This is another surprising one too. This Half-Life Platinum Collection. Now, if this is complete with the discs, in used condition, this game runs about $90. It is hard to find this edition of the game. I don't know if it just didn't originally sell when it came out, or if there's just not a lot of copies left, because who really keeps around used PC games, but definitely double check your used PC games, see if there's anything like this in there, because people don't suspect used PC games to be worth anything, but this is one of them. And we're dwindling down to the last couple things. We have this cool Starlink Battle for Atlas Nintendo Switch game with and it comes with an exclusive add-on with the Star Fox crew right there. There's also Star Fox Zero for the Wii U in here, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This one was very unique because it had the actual poster that came with it, and this game actually already sold for $30, so not a ton of money, but money nonetheless. Here's another one, Rocket Knight Adventures, complete in box. That is a great game to look out for. And then also this Win Back Covert Operations. Fantastic bin here. So a lot of our money is in this bin, but we're not done yet. We have this whole other bin to go through. I love going through this stuff. If you guys enjoy this type of content, leave a like down below and let me know that you enjoy just seeing me go through an old collection and building the nostalgia. I know it's not the typical content where I'm going out and doing that, but I really think if I can integrate this type of stuff into the content, I needed a break from the truck series. The truck series was like every single episode was my next video, and I just need something to break up the monotony. So if you enjoy or appreciate the break in that, please feel free to subscribe, follow along, and we'll be getting back to the truck series. It's not going anywhere. I'm gonna have an episode out in the next couple days. All right, so we're on the last bin of stuff we had. Let's see what else we picked up today. So we did pick up this massive Donkey Kong World of Nintendo character, another World of Nintendo character, Ganondorf from Wind Waker HD. Picked up this Mega Man. This was cool because this was like the only Mega Man thing in there, and I do have a soft spot for Mega Man. I used to play the Battle Chip Challenge game on my Game Boy all the time. It was so much fun. So, a Claptrap Borderlands Yahtzee. That's
well, of course you won with those cards. Even Steve could have won with those cards, and all he can say is "Hey-o." Shut the f*** up, Steve.
Pretty neat. I think it's pretty unique, even though Borderlands kind of flopped when the movie came out. I think the series was a lot of fun originally. Here's a box only for Turok 2 for the Nintendo 64. A complete in box Lion King for the Game Gear. Here's Aladdin for the Game Gear. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Game Gear as well. Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Does not have a manual in the boxes, and it has seen better days, but I still think it's a really cool game, and the cartridge is in relatively good shape, so I think that was an awesome find there. We got a ton more Nintendo 64 games in here. Hexen, South Park Chef's Love Shack, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That was pretty cool to find in there. Glover, A Bug's Life. We have Jeffrey from Toys R Us figure. Walking Dead Glenn Rhee character. I didn't really get into The Walking Dead. I like kind of fell out of it like halfway through season 2. I was just kind of over it. It was like, I get it. There's zombies always around. Move on. We got the Super Smash Bros. Amiibo of Samus. Thought that was really cool. More World of Nintendo toys, like these little guys here. I won't talk much about those. We got another one here. We have these loose 30th anniversary edition amiibos of the Mario. I thought those were really awesome. I know those came in a 2-pack originally. And there's just like unique little things in here, like a Mario, and there's just unique little things in here. Like here's a Mario Party 9 puzzle, which actually does have a pretty good sell-through rate. And it does sell for some decent money. So there's also like a bunch of pre-order bonuses like Super Mario Wonder. Just random, like here's a Gears of War comic book. I think there's a couple of those in here. Batman Forever Riddler. Got a little bit of yellowing, but it's still pretty cool piece nonetheless. Got some Super Mario figures. There was a lot of Mario stuff in here for sure. Rugrats in Paris. We got Jet Force Gemini. And this is Fighter's Destiny. Hey You Pikachu, that's pretty cool. Excitebike 64, knocking stuff over. Biofreaks, like Adorbs Batman series. I feel like these type of things, like these off, like Funko type style things, are just not worth anything unless somebody's like, hey, that's Batman, I like Batman, I'll buy that for a couple bucks. But I really don't think this type of stuff is really worth much, especially on the secondary market. People look for the stuff they look for. Here's one of the few Pokemon things we had, other than that Hey You Pikachu. We have this Trico figure, so that was pretty cool. A lot of this stuff was really dusty too when I got it, but honestly, I've managed to clean up most of it, so it's pretty dust free now. More World of Nintendo stuff. Here is a set of fidget spinners that are like Mario branded. I don't, like I said, this is another one. I'm like, I have no idea if these are even worth anything on the secondary market, but we will sell them nonetheless. So Star Wars Episode 1, these like Comutech chip things that like that the figures talk and say lines, so those are pretty cool. And then, like I said, there's just random things, like here's these Vault-Tec like Fallout pins. Here's a Kingdom Hearts flag that has, I think this is for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's got Woody on it. And then the last few things are literally just like Hot Wheels, like Mario Kart Hot Wheels. Nothing crazy there, but cool nonetheless to look at. These little like Street Fighter figures. And then just random, like here's Destiny, like a Destiny character, little figure, some more World of Nintendo stuff. Here's a Overwatch Tracer fig pin. That's really cool. Like here's a McDonald's Mario toy. Like there's, like I said, there's like a lot of littles here, but I think the littles are where we're gonna make up a lot of our money. Here's a Assassin's Creed Origins fig pin. Another Super Mario thing. Another Street Fighter thing. Here's a Donkey Kong Pez. This is one of those things I say, make sure you're double checking and looking for this type of stuff. This is a limited edition 1 out of 3,000 Star Power Mario World of Nintendo figure. Like, you want to see this. So there was only ever 3,000 of these made, at least, I don't know, in the US, I guess. But yeah, these sell for pretty good. I think I have this one listed for like almost 50 bucks right now. It might not sell for that, it might sell in the 30 range, but still good find, especially with that little thing. Another Gears of War comic. And then the last couple things here, I got a figure, a little Overwatch keychain, and then I think the very last thing was a promotional Splatoon Wii U gun. So now that I've shown you everything we picked up, now let's talk numbers and what I estimate to make after I sell everything. All right, so I went ahead and calculated out everything. We're doing some of the sales on eBay and some of the sales will be on Whatnot. So as far as the eBay stuff that is listed right now, we have a total listed value of $2,634.31, and I'm estimating Whatnot to be about $250. Obviously, Whatnot can change at any one point in time, but we do have to take out some fees and taxes. I take 25% off the top of my eBay listings. That's just to include our shipping and eBay fees and taxes. That takes care of that, but we also have to account for like a 10% give or take offer amount. Sometimes we sell stuff for full price, sometimes we have to sell it for an offer, but usually most of the things balance out to about a 10% off of the original asking price. So I'll go ahead and take that out now too. So after we take out all those fees and estimates, we're looking at a total of $1,778.15 on the eBay listings just by themselves. After taking out the original cost of goods, we're looking at a total combined profit of $908.15. And from Whatnot, we can expect a bare minimum of $216.25. Now, I say bare minimum because we're starting pretty much everything around $5. There's a couple of $2 items in there, but the video games I highly doubt will just sell at $5. There's gonna be a lot of them that get pushed up to the $5, $7, $8, $10 range. So that's just a rough estimate. That's all this is for. The other thing I wanted to point out is we did have stuff that sold already, so we'll go ahead and include that as well. So the total we're estimated to make, including eBay, Whatnot, and what already sold on eBay, is $1,253.35. Now, you do have to keep in mind that I have to sit on this stuff for a while. I'm sure I have stuff that I've bought from this guy before that I still am sitting on. It's just the name of the game, but that's after we took out our initial cost of goods. So even if I make out the initial cost of goods, everything on top of that is going to be gravy, which we are already almost a fourth of the way there. So a few more sales will push us over a quarter of the way there. If we have a couple of big sales, we'll be there even faster. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys watching today's video. I don't know if this is the type of content you guys like or not, but if you watched it all the way to the end and you're watching this, you obviously like the content, so feel free to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment down below of your best video game find you ever had, or if you have any memories of any of the stuff I showed you today. Also, if you are interested in anything, please feel free to follow me on Whatnot and eBay. Both of those links will be in the description. And if you're sending me an offer on eBay, because best offer is turned on for everything, please let me know you're from the YouTube channel. I will work out a better deal for you. So thank you so much again for watching, guys. I appreciate you sticking with me through everything, and I will see you in the next one.
We burn the miles, we're shedding all the weight, rolling slow and leaving it to fate. Everything is a line, everything is a blur. Just a silver-plated heart and a steel resolve for sure. Let the shadows stretch, let the hours dissolve. Got a silver-plated heart and a steel resolve.